up your heart, what do you feel? Is it real?
Everybody, hope you're having an awesome summer. Just trying to do some more videos because I know people have been dropping me a line saying they want to hear some more, have a lot more questions, that sort of thing. So I get a lot of questions about the intro diet, so I'm actually going to do a quick little video on the intro diet. If you don't know what the intro diet is or the SCD diet, click the link below and it will take you to my blog, which will show you a lot more information or the specifics and how you can get started, a step-by-step approach, and all that blah 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 stuff. So in regards to the intro diet, the intro diet is pretty much the first phase of the SCD diet, and what it's pretty much composed of is just a really limited version of the diet. And what you usually consume in the first 3 to 5 days on the actual intro diet, is you're just consuming like a basic vegetable or chicken broth, along with some gelatin and some other things that are actually in the book, and you get the more specifics there. And what the intro diet is, the intro phase of the diet is actually really, really good, because what it does is it helps you kill off the bad bacteria, get rid of it. You know, so a lot of times when you're doing this, you do experience some, I'd say, a little bit increased diarrhea. And if you want to sort of take this situation and sort of transfer, think about when you've ever had the flu or a cold, and people wonder why they feel better when they're having chicken noodle soup and that sort of thing. What the chicken noodle soup actually does, it does the same thing. You'll actually notice when you're consuming the soup, it gets rid of that bacteria. And then you experience this die-off, whether you have excessive runny nose and you're going to the bathroom a lot, or you have a fever or whatever it might be. But after you're done, you'll notice that after that point of the flu or the cold or whatever it might be, you'll start to feel a lot better. It's the same thing with the intro diet. Getting rid of a lot of this bad bacteria is what it does. It starves it out just while you're just eating minimal amounts of things and you get rid of it. But the diarrhea after you're doing the intro diet, it goes away pretty quickly. So I just want people to think, you know what, I know it might be you're a little bit worried about having increased diarrhea, but realize it's a necessary step. You know, it's really, really good for killing that bad bacteria. And I speak from experience. I'm a bullheaded guy that, you know, and sometimes, yeah, maybe I let my ego get in my way. And what I did is I thought, nah, you know what, I'm reading this book, I'm ahead of this, I don't really have to do it, and I did it my own way. So I never did the intro phase of the diet, probably for 6 to 9 months in the diet. And the reason that I actually didn't do it for that long was, I don't know, like I said, I was just being bullheaded. And then finally, I think I had one of those interim, I guess you'd say, flare-ups at about 6 to 9 months, which made me question what I was doing. So I went back and I reread the Breaking the Vicious Cycle book, and I seen the intro diet, and I realized, hey, I never did that. So I thought I'd give it a shot. So I gave it, I think it was a 4 or 5 day shot, and I definitely experienced a little bit of a spike in diarrhea, and maybe a little bit flu-like symptoms, sort of things like that. But after it was over, I started to feel really, really good. And it made me wonder, it was just like, hey, you know what? How far could I have got ahead if I would have done that initially? It literally took me 3 months ahead that I was from just doing that one thing, just killing off that bad bacteria. So for anybody watching this thinking, I've never done it or I don't want to do it, I'd probably think twice and give it a shot. You know, because if I would have done that right in the beginning, I probably would have saved a lot of months getting better quicker. You know, and I think for myself doing these videos and a lot of the things that I do is I'm just trying to help people not make the same mistakes that I made. You know, because that's what I did, is I effed up a lot doing things my own way. And I'm just sort of trying to communicate that to you guys so you don't have to make the same mistakes over again. And if you want to go for it, do whatever, but take my word for some of it and just sort of piece it together. Another awesome thing about the intro phase of the diet is if you're ever going through a flare, it can be an awesome tool to sort of help regulate things and bring them back to normal. You know, and I've talked about in my document about the safe, it's what I call a safe diet, or you can call it the intro diet, whatever you want to do. So when things are getting a little bit bad and you're starting to feel like you might have a flare, and for anybody that's had multiple flares, you start to know there tends to be these little signals that something might be coming, the storm might be approaching, you know. I haven't had a flare in a long time. I think it's probably been about 3+ years, and I'm not worried about having one. And once you get under control, I don't think that will be the last concern of yours as well. But when you do start to experience these symptoms or these signals that something might be happening, just jump back on the intro diet. Give your body a chance to get rid of that bad bacteria, build the good bacteria up, along with having some SCD legal yogurt and some stuff like that. You know, you'll find out it regulates things pretty quickly, so that you might not have to go through this flare, or a bad flare. You know, you might go through a few days, but it will taper off very quickly. You know, so give it a shot if you're experiencing some of these symptoms. You know, because it will definitely make a difference. You know, so go back, read the part of the book that talks about the intro diet, and decide if you want to give it a shot. But I highly recommend you give it a shot. You know, it made a huge difference for me 6 or 9 months down the road. You know, so if you can do it from the beginning, you'll be way further ahead than I was, you know. And remember, guys, I had severe Crohn's colitis. I'm not some guy that walked off the street and had nothing and just said I got better. I'm not BSing you guys. I'm being straight up. So if you avoid some of the mistakes, you can streamline and get a lot quicker results than I had, you know. So hopefully this video helped you guys out. Give it a shot. Go read it now, and hope you guys have a kick-ass summer, okay? Come on, you gotta be... It's hard to communicate things through the camera all the time, so sometimes you just gotta be a goofball. Bye, guys. Have a good summer.
Open up your heart, what do you feel?